I took a break from work for a little over a month, and it's really been a rather interesting journey. And I should say that it's not common that people take breaks from work, at least not in the United States. Our culture is very work 24/7, 365 days of the year in order to succeed and climb the corporate ladder, so to speak. That's the American dream that we've been sold, at least for people my age and younger. I'm 27, so if you're around that age or you're entering into the workforce, that's really the culture that we're in. That's what is seen to be a good thing. Is putting off all other things in life aside and solely focus on your career. And that takes people through their 20s and into their 30s. And I think one thing I've learned from taking this little bit of time off is really that honestly climbing the corporate ladder doesn't really matter. It's not something that you're going to reflect back on your life and say that you wish you got higher up the ladder. And I feel like for me, it's kind of been a difficult truth to learn because, on one hand of the coin, I studied for years to do this job and to succeed in advance. The other side of the coin, you still have to live. And I feel like the still living part is becoming increasingly more difficult to do considering cost of living increases, housing and rent increases, and honestly, just day to day necessities, food, gas have all been extremely high, extremely expensive. And so that just living piece of the equation seems to be rather difficult to balance, to say the least. And for me, the past month has really taught me that you need to keep the equation in balance. And I need to do a better job at not only not like stressing so much about work, but making it a priority to take time for myself before I get to that breaking point, before I get to that point where I'm stressed out to the point where I take a break out of necessity. So it's taught me to listen to my body. It's taught me to listen to my mental state. And honestly, taking this month off has really been just a very revelatory experience for me because I learned my limits and I learned that I might need to take a step back away from always studying software development because it did lead to burnout and it put me in a spot where I was not content with the status that I had, the position that I was in. And I don't think that is uniquely my problem. I think it's a lot of people's problem is we get to this spot in life where we make climbing the corporate ladder the main thing and we push everything else to the side. And it pays off in terms of, being able to make a living and provide. But it really takes a toll. It takes a toll. And it's interesting, when you hear people comment about their life, when they look back, they never really talk about wishing that they had spent more time chasing success or chasing money. They never say that. That's never the thing that they wish they did more of. But when you're, late 20s, early 30s, that's the thing that you feel like you need to do the most. And it's interesting. And I feel like I don't know if I'm going to have to take another month-long break anytime soon. I hope not, but I think I'm more okay with admitting that I may need to. And in the future, I'm okay with using all my vacation time, and I'm more okay with making sure that I'm not making my job and my career my main thing. compared to the rest of life. It's very important, but it's hard to learn that, and it's not something that's really taught, and it's not something that's, sold to us, for lack of better words. We're never taught that in school. We're never taught that in college. And we've been dealt a hand where we're almost forced to have to grind continually and chase after money and success out of almost necessity. It used to be out of luxury, but now it's almost out of necessity, given how high prices have gotten, how expensive things are, and just to get by, it's just ridiculous. So I think we have to, well, not we, I have to do a better job at recognizing the signs of when I'm feeling burned out, when I'm feeling stressed and anxious, and I have to react accordingly and not react too late. Because when I react too late, like I did about a month and a half ago, it doesn't, it's not really, it's not me being proactive for my mental health. It's me being reactive to the fact that I wasn't in a good mental state and I finally had to just step away from work. But I can't let it get to that spot again. And I think that this journey, this in 2025, is going to be an exploration of that. What is this job going to look like when I consider mental health a more important function of it? What is programming going to look like when I'm more cognizant of my stress and anxiety levels? And what is my overall career going to look like now that I'm not trying to just chase the next position? These answers I'm hoping to, these questions I'm hoping to get answers to in 2025. And again, this is one of the main drivers for my YouTube channel, so I can document this journey. And we're all on the same, you know, we're all on the same ride. A lot of us have different experiences, but a lot of us who watch, who interact on this channel, a lot of you all who watch this channel, we do software development as a job, as a way to make a living, and we all have the same. A lot of us have the very same problems and struggles in this job, and so, you know, if we could just all recognize that these are the things that we're going to face and talk about them more openly and not bottle things up, I think we're going to be better off, because healthy communication is so important, but it's very difficult to do. And sometimes, unfortunately, communication, unfortunately, is used as a tool by people who have an angle, right, to just get something or to use us or, whatever. But open and honest communication is vital. And being vulnerable is important too, because it exposes your own insecurities. It exposes just a piece of you that might not come through on a daily stand-up meeting or just a regular, 5-minute quick conversation. But the part that is deeper in people, the part that only comes out when somebody is vulnerable, when they feel trust, when they feel like they can express and share themselves without any retaliation, that's when you truly learn about somebody. I think that's when you truly get to know somebody. And it's when you unlock that part, that's when real growth happens, not only just in relationships, but in life. And when we all feel valued, and we all feel like when we feel like we have a purpose, we're going to do a better job at whatever it is we have to do. And I don't know, 2025 I think is going to be an important year. So I'm looking forward to it. Really looking forward to this channel. I'm very excited about it. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.